Hey, hey, Rich.
Hey, John, you can hear me okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, good. Let's
We
get
are
three
we are
more minutes
excited.
from Hedy. What's sorry?
I said we're excited. We're
Yeah,
ready.
yeah. Well, you picked out some interesting cases.
Thank you, thank you. Yeah, we tried, Rich. We still have to get funds to settle on the account, so we're not in a position to bid yet. But when we looked at these particular cases, we saw that we didn't think they were going to get canceled, and then they just have some like niche things about them that I feel like it would be awesome to get your feedback on.
Yeah, yeah, it'll be fun. Let me share my screen. I already looked at all these cases this afternoon.
Awesome.
I think I just let Mahedi in. Did I? You hear me, Mahedi?
Yes, sir, I can hear you.
Oh, good. Okay, so we're all set. I'm going to share my screen and try to figure this out. Let's see. Where is the screen? Is it this one?
That's the last one.
All right. Okay, so Mahedi, just so you know, John sent me some cases to go over,
Hmm.
and I pulled up. I've looked at all of them today. I think there's four. So I'll just go down the list. Okay.
Yep, perfect.
Actually, let's just use the one I already got pulled up. Use that one first. What's that? Oh, that's public records. That's the search screen. Okay. All right. So this is the first case. Let me find. I gotta move you guys over to the side. This is Carmen Enriquez. This is the only. Is this a county court case? No, this is yeah, it is. It's the county court case. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look. Okay, this is not the right case. What this is though, by the way, I picked up a mortgage on this property, and this was the complaint for the mortgage. Here's the complaint. I think it was no, it's not gonna let me do it. Okay, let me search again. All right, good. It's not gonna let me do it. Let's just start from the beginning. Okay, so I'm gonna do the case number. This is the case number of Enriquez, 2024 CC. It's county court, so we know it's going to be a condo lien. So we have to do a little bit of extra title work. Okay, see. All right, I didn't think I typed that right. Sorry, guys.
I think if you type it in wrong place. Yep, now
Yeah,
this is the right one.
I started in the wrong place.
Yeah, you did it in citation number earlier.
Okay, 2024 CC. No, CD. See that? My figures are bad. CC 023511, letter O. Not a robot. All right, looks like I got that one right. Okay, so this is a county court case. I'm going to look at the complaint first. And here's the complaint. See complaint? Click on right there, 35 pages. Going to give us enough information to get started on this one. John, why did you pick this case?
This particular case, um, there were two. There were two. I chose it was this one or another one, but this one it was either because there was an HOA lien and it didn't seem like there was a mortgage. Um, but I think that was a different one. I decided not to send that one to you, or it was because I think this had multiple case numbers on it. It was something like that. Let me see if I can.
Okay, well, we'll go ahead through it. This is the one that you sent me. So it's going to be the Association Villas Association and against Carmen Enriquez. Now you can always this is not an allism, but there's a little clue. The defendants are Carmen Enriquez and the United States on behalf of Secretary of HUD. So generally what that indicates is that there's a second mortgage being held by HUD in this one. So an association can foreclose out a second mortgage, but it can't foreclose out a first. Are we clear on that?
Yes. And that was actually one of the questions, Rich, because I was curious since that seems to be Uncle Sam, how that was getting foreclosed out by the HOA. Okay, so it's
Yeah,
because it's a secondary mortgage.
it's
It
a
can be
second
killed by
mortgage.
the
I,
HOA.
I think it was given to him by FHA. We'll look at it. We'll see.
Okay.
But yeah, because there's a second mortgage here, generally people that have second mortgages also have first mortgages. Because if this wasn't a second, it would be a first, and the condo can't foreclose out first. So it's clearly a second. It also gives you an idea that Miss Carmen Enriquez probably has a first mortgage on this. Okay, so let's just look at it. So here they are saying they're going to foreclose out. They're seeking to foreclose out the Secretary of Housing and Urban Development. That's going to be FHA. Now, hey, do you understand that a second mortgage can be foreclosed out, but a first mortgage cannot?
Okay. Okay.
You understand that? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So here's the claim for under 15,000. That's why they're in county court. Carmen, unknown parties, venues proper. Okay, this is all just a complaint. I like to look at it. And here we go. Number 8, United States of America on behalf of Secretary has joined because there's a claim of an interest under or against defendant by virtue of a home equity mortgage recorded in the public records in 2007. I may have looked that up, but I didn't have to, and we can go take a look at it if you wish. But there it is. It's clear. It's on the face. There's a mortgage on this thing. If there's a second, there's most likely going to be a first. Is there always going to be a first? Personally, I can't imagine how that could happen. If you can foreclose on a second, because the fact is, if the first got foreclosed, if the first went away, or if there was no first, this would be a first, and they can't foreclose this out. So just the fact that they're naming a second mortgage means that there is a first. 90% of the time, 99% of the time. But would I be willing to hang my hat on this? No, you got to do more research. But this is a clue that's very evident that there's going to be a first. Okay, I don't think there's anything else in here that we really need to see, other than I'd like to look at how much they're claiming, because like the beginning of the day, this thing was probably so little, like $500 is how much was owed. No, we can go down and see on the lien. This is all the condo documents. You don't need to have any information about that. That's just about when the condo turned itself into a condo. Anybody have the Super Bowl on in the background?
No.
No? Okay.
I'm in a different room, but yeah, it's happening.
Yeah, I got it on in my bedroom just so I can hear the crowds roar, but I really don't
Mhm.
give a shit about the game, so it doesn't matter. Where the hell is the claim of lien? Okay, here's the deed when it first went into her. And I use this to try to find where the mortgage was. 645244147. I think I looked this up. And you might want to write this down, especially John, because this is training in Orange County. Because you're going to want to look up this deed and see if there's a mortgage. Remember what I said? If there's a deed and there is a mortgage, a purchase money mortgage, it'll be the next document right after the deed. So here's a claim for $784. So this poor lady, look at this. Somebody read this to me.
Good luck.
Yeah, I don't even know it. It's not even a language. It could be an alien language because there's so many different, signs. Anyway, so let's see, go to what did they end up owing? $800. Yeah, they owed $1,300 when they foreclosed. This poor lady lost this house because of a $1,300 lien. Okay, so let's close this off. We're done. So that's the complaint for the association. Now we got to try to find out where did I find that mortgage? Hold on, let me look. So where are you going to find the mortgage? Okay, so what you have to do is I ran Enriquez's name. You go to the official records, Orange County official records. Okay. This is the mortgage note, but I want to show you how I found it. I just don't want to go to it. Okay, so we got the official records. We're going to go look at the official records. Got to click that off. Set basic official records. That's what we're going to use, and we're going to go look by her name. I think I found by her name when I looked at the book and page for the deed. Okay, so that's what we're going to do first. Hold on, I printed the deed too. All right, I don't have the book and page of the deed. I lied. I'm already confused just from these three that I looked at. So I must look at her name, Enriquez, Enriquez. No results. Okay. Oh, I know why I spelled it wrong. Enrique base. And there's the name right there. Carmen. And you know, you have to have the name show up down here, John, when you're doing your search, or you're not going to get anything. So now we're going to search Carmen Enriquez. I'm going to search it. And this is all the stuff that I got. So there's only 23 documents for her. So this will be productive quickly. Let's see now where her deed was in 2002. She bought it. Okay, so this is it here. This is when she bought it from that lady. 83. 83 Costa del Sol. I just happened to see that name before. But this is a deed around the same date. If you weren't sure the date that she bought it, you can go to the property appraiser's office, put in the property address, and you can look for the deed on the face of that document. It'll tell you what the date is in the book and page. So this is the deed. Now, remember I told you if there's going to be a mortgage, it's going to be right after the deed. And I don't see one here because the next document, this is in February 2002. The next document is September. So I'm going to suggest that she paid cash for this house. So she paid cash. Then we'll look at the same 83 West Del Vista del Costa. There's the unit. There's the lien that they foreclosed on. This is the list pendants for the association's foreclosure. And we can look at these documents anytime we want because this website is so friendly. And this is a court paper from that same lawsuit. The SD Global Corporation. I don't even know what type of document this is. Oh, it's a notice. So I wouldn't care about the notice. Court paper, judgment. This is for the money that she got from the lien from the foreclosure. She's also in trouble with she bought a Marriott timeshare, so she's not really happy. She's not too smart buying too many things like that. Okay, so here we've got an LP from Lone Bridge Financial. So an LP means that there's going to be litigation pending on this document, based on this document. So let's take a look at the document. Okay, so we can view it by looking here, but you can see right here what the document is. There's a mortgage. This is a mortgage. That's the right legal description. That's the right defendant. So I went ahead and looked at it. Let's just take a look for you guys. An error occurred while they were doing my thing. Okay, so this was the LP, I think. So let's just go back because we didn't get to look at it. Right here. Notice of voluntary dismissal. So this is a document that was next in line for the how do I get rid of this damn thing? This is the document that was next in line in the public records. And how do I get back there? All of a sudden it's being nasty to me.
I think if you just click next result, Rich, you'll go back.
No, but I don't want the next result.
Well, because we clicked previous result, and so we went one document back, and then if you click next result, you'll end up back on the page that wouldn't load.
No, I thought it was there's got to be something to go back to the next previous page because I would have screwed this up a long time ago.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So the arrows at the top of the page, the left and right arrows, those take you back one. But the previous result and next result, they take you up and down in the list of documents that we were looking at a second ago. So now we're looking at two documents like back in time. So if we click next result twice, we'll end up on the list pendants.
Next result, next result.
And this should be it.
There it is. Okay. So once you see a list pendants, the most important thing on that list pendants is that case number right there. So now we know there's a mortgage. It's the right person. They're also foreclosing out the United States of America, and they're also foreclosing out the association, which the first mortgage is entitled to do. So Longbridge for Financial. And if you want to look at the mortgage, there's the body of the mortgage. And I did look at that. Let's look at it just to see how much it is. I knew you to do that. Pretty right. See an error occurred again. Okay.
I think if you click the little circle in the top left to reload the page, it's right next to the URL bar.
Right there.
Sometimes that fixes it for us.
All right, there you go. Thank you. And here's the adjustable rate home equity conversion mortgage. So that makes sense. It's a home equity loan because we noticed that she didn't get a mortgage right when she bought it. So the thing went up in value, or she felt like she needed some cash. She got this loan well after she owned it. She owned it originally in 2002, and this mortgage was taken out in 2007. So this is going to be a first mortgage. I think even in the document it says first mortgage. Well, look at that, 260.25. 260.25 is what was what the original mortgage was. And if you can go through there and you can just look at it if you want. There's nothing for me to it. But here what you can see is the mortgage was originated in 21 and they assigned it to somebody else in 23. There's an assignment, who they assigned it to. Document Solutions, grantor, Longbridge to Secretary of Housing. Okay, so they assigned it to FHA or Secretary of Housing, either way. 262, these are all the signatures that make the assignment right. And there's a legal description, lot 83, Villas of DaCosta. Okay, so let's go back to our search. Give me a second to find it. Yeah, there's must be something being blocked on my page. I'm on the bottom because if it's on the very bottom in this orange bar, is there anything on your orange bar that says, oh, there it is. It says back. God darn it. Back, right there. Okay, that's what I wanted to see. Back to search. There we go. Okay, so that we know that there's the LP was filed. The court case number we got off of there. Let's go take a look at the court case itself. I don't think this is it. No. Let's go search these records. Anybody write the case number down off of that note? Oh, I got it right here. Okay, it's 2021 CA 009 8830. Okay, so this is the foreclosure case that was filed by Longbridge. Okay, and you can see it was voluntarily dismissed. So they filed the foreclosure action in 2021, and then they dismissed it. And here's the complaint. Let's take the information you're going to find off the complaint is how much did this plaintiff say was due and owing when they filed their complaint? Because you're going to need to know that, especially if you're bidding on something that has a subject, a mortgage on it, and you're buying a condo lien. So here we've got the plaintiff is owed at least 139, so figure 140. But that 140 is only up until November 20th, 2020. So if you're going to bid on this, you have to know that there's 140 on the mortgage that's owed, and there's going to be interest on this amount at least from November 20th, 2020. So figure 5 years of interest on this note, on this amount. And whenever I calculate the interest, I don't worry about calculating it at the note rate, which is probably about 8%. I always calculate it at 18%, which is the default rate that the bank is going to be allowed to charge if they so choose. So you can't calculate the interest between November 20th and whatever date the date is based on this amount of principal at anything less than 18%, because if they charge 18%, the number is going to be what you calculate. If you calculate it at 9%, you're going to be off, and you're going to be off in the wrong way. So but both you guys understand what I just said, a mouthful.
Yeah, yeah. You just opened our eyes. We were, yeah, 18% is a big difference than what's written on the paper.
Yeah,
Hmm.
18% is what's the highest and most interest you can charge in Florida. And you don't want to calculate it at 8% because then you're going to be off at 10% of the number all the way across the board, and you're going to be surprised. And you don't want that kind of surprise. You'd rather figure it up and come down if you have to, but you don't want to have to go up because that's cash out of your pocket. So
Yes.
the date, November 20, November 11, 2020, you got to add the interest onto this number based on this principal amount. So it's going to be considerable. Because originally it was 200 something thousand, so they made their payments for a while. But let me just see what that number comes out to be. Hold on. I don't want to do math. Someone else do the math. So figure like you're bidding on this. You got to figure 18% on 140,000 for 5 years. Somebody do the math.
We're working on it over here.
Okay.
2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I was at the same thing. We're about like 320. Yeah, 320.
That's a big ass number, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's a big ass number. It also depends on what this thing is worth, but I'm not going to do value.
I don't
Okay,
think it's
so
worth that when we
no.
look at it. Yeah.
Okay, so if you said it's 320, and
Yeah.
I'm sure you guys are aware of this, that
Hmm.
somebody went on the sale. Are you familiar with what happened at the sale here on this one?
So somebody
Someone
closed on it for
75.
75. Yeah.
Oh, hold on. What'd they do?
They bought it for
They bought it
75.
third party for 75K.
Yeah.
Mortgage. Okay, hold on. I didn't have the same information. Okay, so this mortgage bid balance was
Yeah, bid amount.
75. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong one. Okay. Okay, so they paid 75,000. Let's go to the bid sheet so we can see how the bidding went.
Also, Rich, another reason we chose this, there was a gentleman or a name, CG Fu, that stuck out to Jihad and I. He's this particular person, he, she, they, whatever. They've been bidding for a while. Royal Auto is the LLC that they seem to take things under, but we can't find any properties that they own. So we don't understand how they win the bid and then you know what I mean? They don't have it come to them. So I
Well,
thought
Royal
that,
Auto, they were the prevailing bidder.
yeah,
See?
right. But like I don't see them on the self service when I look up, you know, who owns it now. So they got CT, but then what happened from there? Because it didn't go to Royal Auto.
It didn't go to all Royal Auto?
Yeah, like if we look up Royal Auto and self service, we can't
Yeah.
find like we don't find this property attached to that name.
Okay. There it is right there. CJ Fu.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Okay, so we'll look at that in just a second. But
Okay.
okay, so you're right. 75,000 they bought it for, and they bought it subject to obviously that big ass mortgage on there. See, here's the case mortgage bid balance, certificate of title. Here it is, CT being issued to Royal Auto Detail. There's a certificate of sale. Is it too soon because certificate of title hasn't been issued yet? Yeah, it might be because the certificate of sale, they just finished paying for it on the 2nd. So CT is probably not going to issue for a couple of days still.
Okay. Okay. So we won't see a record that they own anything then.
Well, not this one. They might own other stuff.
Yeah.
But for this guy to be smart enough to bid subject to and cut his bidding off to the point where he still might make some money, he's got to be pretty in tune with what's going on. Let's just see what his bidder number is. Oh shit, I clicked on the wrong one. Sorry. Yeah, the lower the bidder number, the more likely that they have some experience. And he's got a digit bidder number, but see, a lot of these guys have numbers that are, oh, I guess they are lower than his. Here's one that's higher. But you know what's interesting now is you don't see any more 4-digit guys buying because the numbers are too high. So someone with a 4-digit auction bidder number is not going to participate in stuff like this if they can't make the amount of money they could have made before. because foreclosures have pretty much exploded here, and they're going to get worse the next year or 2 years. Okay, so his CT will issue sometime in the next 15 days. I give it take.
Okay, so we should keep an eye on this one and then see. Like, I'll follow up with it again. Just to
Yeah,
see.
take a look and see what
Yeah.
the name that comes out. It's probably going to be Royal Auto unless he assigns it to somebody, but there's no assignments in here unless this correspondence is some kind of an assignment. Let's see. Okay, no, so the winning bidder didn't pay the $70 post-sale fee, so the attorney's paying it. They just want to make sure they get their client the money.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's it on this. And any other questions on this one? That's the condo one.
No, that's it, Rich. You answered ours because we were having trouble finding that first mortgage, and we saw that we had a few questions. One was about CG Fu, one was about the mortgage, and then the other one was for America being sued or urban development or
Yeah.
whatever, and how that worked. So yeah, you answered all our questions. Thank you.
Okay, now none of the answers to those questions are 100%. In other words, just because you saw the government being foreclosed out doesn't mean it's a second. It doesn't mean that there's a first, but it that's the way it makes you lean. Because all we're doing is we're picking up clues until we can actually find that recorded mortgage, and we found it. And the bidder was smart. He didn't overpay or didn't get into a situation where there was a big mortgage that he didn't know about. Okay, so that's Carmen Enriquez, and that's that case. Okay. Number 8 is the HELOC. Okay. All right. So all three of the next cases are very straightforward. So I'll pull them up and we'll talk about them. And you let me know if you have any specific questions, because they're, like I said, they're all pretty straightforward. They're mortgage foreclosures. It's easy for us to figure it out. And you always remember that the attorney for the plaintiff wants to get clear title for his client. Okay, so here's the case: Wells Fargo versus Joanna Roldan. Okay, 5757. Yeah, there was nothing particular interesting about this unless you guys spotted something. We'll go down to, okay, so here's the final judgment. Final judgment of foreclosure. There it is, 128. Now let's go back and see what somebody paid for it.
Yeah. One of the questions we had with this particular one, Rich, was just there was some documentation in there saying that there was some sort of a code violation for unsafe condition, and it was dated a couple of years ago, and it was saying, "Hey, you're being fined at $500 a day that this is not taken care of." So I guess the curiosity was like, how do we identify? Like we couldn't identify if those violations had been remedied or not remedied. And then the other thing was like they were just listing like state statutes, maybe that's not the right term, but laws essentially saying, hey, you're in violation of this, but there's no indication of what exactly it was. If you had been to the property, like for example, if they said, hey, the condition of the house is unsafe for living, they don't tell you that that's because there's a huge foundation issue. They just say it's unsafe. So we were trying to figure out if there was a way for us to identify those things. And interestingly enough, not that I guess it matters, but this particular house, Jihad and I have actually been inside of it because it was on market. We went and saw it. We know it's an empty shell. So we have some idea of what's going on with it in this case, but we just couldn't figure out from the records with those case violations, are they remedied? Or are they not? We're trying to get an idea of what the value of that is. What do we have to take off the top?
Well, I think the key aspect about what you said was you went to the property and you saw that it was a shell. That's why you can't live in it anymore.
Sure.
That's why you can't live in it. However, when this foreclosure takes place, it looks like it already did, right?
Tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow is the sale date.
What's that?
Tomorrow, I think, is the sale date.
Oh, tomorrow. Okay.
Yeah.
The code violation if it was named in were they named in a complaint, do you know? The
You
city?
know what? I'm not sure. I know it's on the self-service.
Okay, let's look at it.
Yeah, but I don't know if it's in the docket or on the
Okay,
complaint.
if
in the
they were
docket.
named and served, let me see. No, it doesn't look like they were named and served, does it? Although they did file an amended complaint. Let's go look at that. Amended complaint. We'll see if they amended it by adding the cities. Orange County, there they did, right there. So evidently they filed the foreclosure. They didn't realize there was a big ass lien, and now they
You
found
cut
it.
out there for a second, Rich. What'd you
Sorry.
say? You cut out for a second. You
Um,
cut out. You said they amended it, and we missed whatever you said after that.
yeah, they amended the complaint because they found out of the violation.
Uh-huh.
There it is. Orange County may have an interest to foreclose by order. This is the location, book and page, date of all that stuff. Okay. I'm going to suggest this is why they amended the complaint because they left that off of the first one. Once the violation from the county is named and served, there's a way to foreclose out that lien, even if it's super priority. But in order to get it foreclosed off, you have to have. Let me back up. When you foreclose when there's a foreclosure and there's many defendants, let's say there's 8 defendants, most of them are going to be defaulted off by because they're not going to answer. In that case, the plaintiff's attorney can hold a hearing and have all of those defendants appear or try to appear at that one hearing. So we can have a hearing on Tuesday the 9th, and they notify 7 of the defendants who all got defaulted out. Nobody or one person's going to attend. They're going to get defaulted out anyways because they didn't file an answer. And all those 7 defendants are going to be eliminated from the action. However, if one of the defendants is the county, in order to remove the county and the foreclosure affect their lien, they have to have a special set hearing just for the county to attend. And if they hold a special hearing, special set with the judge just to address this lien violation, they can be foreclosed out. If they don't have a special hearing just for this defendant, just for the county, they can't foreclose them out. So, like I said, because most attorneys want to get clear title for their client, they're going to go ahead and do the right thing and have a special hearing set just for the county. So if their client prevails at the sale, they don't have to worry about this violation. Now, the only part of the violation that goes away is the dollar amount. So if there was, like you said in this one, the house is a shell, there's no bedrooms, there's no closets, there's no bathrooms, there's no nothing.
Nothing.
That violation is still going to have to be cleared. So you're going to have to fix it, but you're not going to be responsible for the penalties or the fines that have accumulated, in this case, since July 20th, 2022. But
Okay.
the county is not going to lose their right to file a claim. So the day after the sale, CT gets issued 10 days later, the county can refile their claim. They can refile their lien, and that thing will start ticking up again at $500 a day. But all the prior lien amounts, if the attorney had the sense to have a special hearing just for the county, the dollar amount goes away, but you still have to correct the problem that caused the lien.
Gotcha.
You guys understand that? Mahedi, you got that? Hello, Mahedi.
Yes. I was trying to unmute. Yes.
Yeah, this is kind of complicated, but it's simple when you think about it. The problem that caused the lien still there, and they could re-lien it, but if they have the special hearing, you get rid of the money and you don't got to worry about the fines. Unlike tax deed sales, you're going to get slammed on this one. But that's a story for another day. But more foreclosures, special set hearing, the county gets noticed, the dollar amount goes away, but their problem doesn't. You still have to fix the problem.
Gotcha. Okay.
Okay, we're
All right.
clear on that?
Yes.
Yes. So in this case, Rich, did they actually hold the hearing based on this, or they're just saying that there may be an interest? Because I saw it said there may be an interest from the county on that document. So does that mean the hearing happened, or it didn't happen in this case?
Well, we have to look and see. So here's the motion to amend. Here's a notice of hearing. Now, to make my life simple, that'll be named. We'll see what it says. Notice of hearing. Yeah, there it is. No, it's not. That's the court. Or that's the address. Notice. Oh, so he's just looking for a hearing to be allowed to amend his complaint. So I'm sure he got that. Yes, here's the order granting motion to amend. Okay. Conditional disclaimer to amend complaint. I have no idea what that is. Order granting plaintiff's motion. Okay, so here's the amended complaint. So they filed all that. They amended the LP to file everybody. Notice of service. Let's see if this gives us a clue to what is going on. Wells Fargo notified directly the defendants. No, this is just the second mortgagee that they were doing. They were notifying him. Okay. Summons, submission complaint. See if you had to get it to anybody. Here it is, affidavit of service to Orange County. Let's see if that's it. Affidavit of service, defendant Orange County. So yeah, we're moving in the right direction. He's going to do something. Let's see, somebody filed an answer. Let's see who did that. Orange County filed an answer. Okay. So this goes just right with what we're suggesting. If you want to take the time to read it, you can. But it's essentially going to say, we know we know we don't stand a chance. So when you foreclose us out, we're going to go ahead and make a claim for surplus. So the county is going to try to make a claim for surplus that hasn't even occurred yet, just to satisfy their lien, because they know they're not going to get something. They're not going to hold up the sale. They're not going to go along with anything. So yeah, they did have the hearing. This is the answer that they filed, the city. Let's see, lack of prosecution. Let's see who got rid of. We got rid of somebody. Notice a lack of prosecution in the court's motion to dismiss. Okay, so here they're addressing the second mortgagee. So it doesn't look like United States of America filed an answer. So they got foreclosed, or they got defaulted out. So they did have the hearing on the code violation, and they put it on some inactive status for some stupid reason. See what that is. The action is foreclosure on or about a verified complaint. Plaintiffs requesting the case-by-case collateral property issue. Oh, it's in this area, disaster affected area, because situation requests to put an act in that. Okay, so now they found out that the house is a wreck and they're not sure whether they want it now or not. So they put the case in an inactive status. Let's see if it got granted. Notice of service. Change of attorneys. Also, they just changed the attorney within the firm. Okay, maybe one guy is an expert at something and the other guy's not. Yeah, so they're canceling all the hearings. Plaintiff's motion to place case in active status. Witness list. Okay, they're talking about trial now. And now here they're just putting all their ducks in a row. Notice a hearing, notice mediation. Comments, final judgment, order granting summary judgment. So they put it on suspension for some reason, but then they went ahead and went with it. Did this property go to sale yet?
No. This one and the remaining two are going on Monday.
Oh, okay. Okay, yeah, it hadn't gone to sale yet, so there's no bid paper. Yeah, the bank's not sure they want this one. I mean, I would look for, is this the house that had the problems with the code violation?
Uh, is this Bonneville? I think it is. I think that's why we're looking at it, right? It's the same case
Yeah.
number. Wells Fargo, Jessica, I believe so.
715.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, well, I would expect a discount on this final judgment.
Okay.
Yeah, so if I would be willing to bet dollars to donuts that this final judgment number, let's see what it is.
So I think they're asking 128, but they're saying they only want 105 for the
Oh, so the opening
next
bid
bid.
is only 105?
according to the real foreclosed. Yeah, they're saying
Yeah,
for the
okay.
next
I
bid is
told you
105.
they're going to be looking for a discount because they don't want this house.
Yeah.
In my mind, they probably should have listed it or, opened their number at 99, something that breaks the $100,000 barrier, but
Mm.
they didn't ask me.
Yeah, we ran the numbers on it, Rich. We just think for the amount of work it's going to take and like everything going on, like what it's worth when it's fixed, we don't think we can bid more than 40 grand on it. But like it's just, yeah, it's just, it's just a learning opportunity. Cause again, we saw the code violations and we were like, huh, well, we had the opportunity to be inside of it. We kind of know what's wrong with it. We don't always get that opportunity. So, um, yeah. The other thing we wanted to ask, let's say, for example, like someone's not mowing the lawn and that's been racking up. Does that also kind of fall into like built like is this the same logic? It's the same thing that you just explained. Like that's the city or whoever's responsible for that has to be named, and then they have to have a special hearing. Or how does that work? Are we responsible for
Okay,
those bills?
that's going to be up to the judge. And I'll tell you, there's a difference between what this county lien is for and for mowing the lawn. The difference is this lien here is for the condition of the property, and there's no money that has to be laid out by the county.
Mm,
They just put the fine on there at $500 a day, and when you're done, you pay us. That's all they're doing. Now, if they have to cut the yard, there's hard costs involved, so there's money coming out of their pocket. When they have that hearing about getting rid of the lien, the county's going to say we had to spend money on this, and it cost us $2,500 to keep cutting this yard. The judge is most likely going to give them some type of a claim for $2,500. And
okay.
if they do, you're going to have to pay it. Someone's going to pay it. But because the lien is more of a it's an arbitrary number because something's wrong versus hard costs. The judge
Gotcha.
is going to side with those hard costs most of the time, and they might give them a credit bid or something. But that number's not going to go away. If you buy it, you're going to have to pay for that.
Okay. Okay. And that would be like an abatement?
Oh, what?
An abatement? Is that what that is?
I don't think so.
No? Okay.
No, that's going to be a hard cost. It's a hard
Okay.
cost from the county, and you're going to have to pay it.
Got it.
Even though the problem for of the whatever the lien was because they weren't cutting the yard. Now because they cut the yard, it turned into hard costs. Just like if anybody has to board up a house because of the windows being broke, or
Yeah.
if there's ever hard costs being passed down, you should prepare yourself to have to pay it.
Okay. Okay. I got you. I get what you mean then.
Well, you
So
see the difference between the lien and the actual spending of money.
right.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And we'll see that in the self-service then. Like if there's like the lawn wasn't cut, they'll file some sort of a lien or something.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Cool.
Yeah,
Perfect.
and if they include the lien in the foreclosure, you'll be able to find it in here, either in the complaint or the amended complaint, because they have to foreclose it out because they have to get clear title for their client. But there's always going to be a copy of the mess of the order to have the yard cuts.
Got it. Okay. Very good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Clear. Thank you, Rich.
Okay, so that was which one was that?
That was hang on, I got a list of them
I'm
here.
gonna cross it off or I'll not catch up. 5715, 57. Okay, that's the first
That's
one.
right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so the next one is the same way. Let's take a look at that. Mahedi, I didn't lose you yet, did I, babe?
No, I'm here.
You're here?
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
you keeping up with us, right?
Yep, yep.
Okay, good. 2024 CA 001 544 5144. Oh, this is an interesting one. Yeah, but I never saw this before. Let me show you what it is. Here, this guy that bid, Renzo Stein, motion for approval of payment. So here in this letter, he's trying to explain to the judge how he lost his internet and they couldn't figure out a way to pay for it. So they got defaulted out and lost their clerk's fee. I
There
mean,
was
come
another
on.
guy.
He
There was
couldn't, he
another
could,
guy that said he was in Brazil.
what happened?
There was another case. I don't know if it was this one, but there was another one where the guy said I was in Brazil and I couldn't go, and I sent the rep. It was a whole thing.
Oh, too bad, so sad. You can't get your money back for being stupid.
Yeah.
But here you could have run to a go to a Starbucks or go to a FedEx office where you could use a computer.
Yeah.
But anyways, the judge said no. So this one's going to sale soon, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So Ranzo Dastine, he paid $374,000 at the last sale. He didn't pay. He couldn't pay for it. He lost his clerk's fee of $5,600. So this guy's going to be pissed. But he's going to bid on it. So if you guys are bidding on it, you have to beat 374.3.
Jeez.
Yeah, that's a kind of. I mean, here it is. There's his bid, and I don't even. I think there was what was. Yeah, there weren't very many bidders. That's also a scary thing. There's no worse feeling in our industry and this happened to me once when they were live. I walked up in front of the clerk, announced my bid, and nobody else bid.
Oh
I'm
my
like,
God.
shit, you don't want to be the only bidder because you didn't give your best number first, but you surely put up dollars for it. So yeah, you don't want to be the only bidder. But this guy's 374. This guy didn't. I guess he could have bid, but he didn't. But whatever the case may be, he was the one and only bidder, and the judge said, nope, we're not going to do that. And they lost their clerk's fee. Look at that clerk fee, $5,600 right into the toilet.
Are you serious? So the judge has the power to make you just lose that money? So it's literally just the judge's fault?
No, it's the bidder's fault for not being able to pay.
Oh, he
Oh,
couldn't
he didn't
pay.
pay.
Oh, I
Okay.
missed
He
that.
didn't
Oh,
pay.
he's
But
messed
once
up.
you got to pay the clerk's fee up front, and you don't get a refund of that money under any circumstances.
Okay.
Which is
So
5%, right?
I'm sorry, what?
Which is the 5% it just deduct from the account.
I'm not sure. I think the clerk's fee is only 1.5%.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the 5% is your deposit. So he lost that and he lost the clerk's fee. So he's going to be pissed, that guy. So he may want to go under that number just to make up for the amount that he lost. But yeah, no, there's no bidders. He's the only guy. I would be very skeptical on this one. I'd have to be sure of my value backwards and forwards.
This was
But aside from that,
I know.
what did you guys question about this one?
Let me pull it up here. I've got a note on the side. By the way, that's a giant house, Rich. The Zillow says it's worth like 666. Jihad and I ran numbers on it. We feel like to sell it quickly, we'd want to sell it for like I think 550 or less. But
Okay, so this guy looks like he
yeah,
was in okay at 374, right?
right.
If
I mean,
if a quick sell number was 5 and change.
right. The other thing I had on this particular one was just there were multiple. So the note I have is multiple mortgage claims and foreclosure case numbers. So if I remember correctly, there were three mortgages on the public records, like self-service. And so one of them seemed to have gotten closed out, but then there was a second and a third mortgage, and they did this weird thing where the second mortgage said something about we can lend you up to $571,300, but no more. And then so it made it sound like they weren't necessarily lending them that amount, but they were allowed almost like I didn't know if they could just pull in and out of that amount or if she took a loan of that amount on the property. And then there was another mortgage for I think 281 281.8 or 281.2. And then that one it was something similar. There was an adjustment to that document and they had some sort of a typo in it, I think, where it said they were willing to lend like no more than 2,282,000. So I kind of got lost. It seemed like this person had a $282,000 mortgage attached to this place and a potential $571,000 mortgage attached. And the valuation of the property didn't make sense relative to what was being loaned on it. So
Okay.
I was I was like, So this guy's bidding, right, based on the value, and the 375 I think could make sense, assuming that the place isn't wrecked, because this is it's a 6,000 square foot building, 3,199 square feet of heated square footage. But I don't know, it's just a lot of work, right? So anyway, I don't want to go on a tangent. We those are some of our questions. The mortgages. So the questions.
Okay. So
The mortgages.
you're saying there's other mortgages
Yeah.
that somehow got addressed. You have case numbers for those?
So I've got so I don't have case numbers for the mortgages, but I do have. Let me see here. Actually, let me open them. I'm just wondering if these are still open on the property. I'm trying to figure out what I can give you. I have all these documents saved on the computer, but let me see. Let me see if I can get a list pendants. Satisfaction of mortgage. Mortgage.
Yeah, this one is interesting. It's a SBA loan for 500 and something thousand.
Okay.
So
So
he put the house up for as an SBA mortgage to guarantee his payments.
well, that makes a little bit more sense then, because I have mortgage number two saying, let's see,
See, it's an
it's like
SBA loan.
Huntington National Bank. It says,
Yeah, Huntington is the person that the SBA loan was funded by. See, Huntington?
I see. Okay.
Yeah, this could be a case study, but without having case numbers and without having seen the mortgages in advance, I'd be chasing my tail most of the time, and you guys would be bored and wouldn't understand what the hell I was babbling about.
Okay.
So if you want to bring this one back another time, I'd be happy to go over it with you.
Yeah.
But
No, no
I
problem,
need to
Rich.
know where those mortgages are. I just need the booking page and the date of the mortgages. And
Okay.
I'd like you to also type up what you think is going on so I can get a head start on what you think is happening.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. Next time we can be a lot more specific. No
Okay.
problem.
Yeah, and if you're going to give me tough ones like this one with multiple mortgages and you don't have case numbers, give it to me in advance.
I gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah, let me
Sorry
know. I'll
about that,
tell you.
Rich.
Okay, no problem. Okay, so now we've got one more. Are you done with this one?
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, we can yeah, we can walk away from that one. No
Well, let's
problem.
revisit. Let's revisit it after the sale. It's coming up on the other on what on Tuesday?
Tomorrow. Tomorrow
Tomorrow.
it's
Okay.
yep. Okay.
Okay, so the last one we got. Take a look at it. It's right there. 2, 3, 4. Well, the devil number. What did I not do right? Invalid request. Of course it is. I forgot to tell him not the robot. It's all the mistakes I'm making. You'd figure he could figure that out on his own.
And then this particular case, Rich, one of the things we thought was interesting was they name so there's a person, Shirley F. Pack, the spouse of Shirley F. Pack. That person owned this property like two or three transfers of ownership ago. And so
Okay.
we didn't understand why they were still attached.
While she was still named,
Yeah, we
let's
didn't
get
get
the
it.
complaint. The complaint will say something about it. Okay, so unknown spouse, Stacy M. Fields, unknown spouse of Shirley Pack, also known as Shirley Faye Pack. And you're saying she owned it before?
Yeah, so she owned it. I don't remember what year, but if I when I go to the property, let me go to the property appraiser real quick, and I'll get you the details.
Okay, defendant Shirley Pack is joined because Shirley's a he. Okay, so Shirley may have some interest in claiming by virtue of a defective quitclaim deed. That's why she's named.
Defective quitclaim deed.
Yeah. And deeds, they're so damn tricky. Um, you have to have two witnesses. You have to have it you have to have it notarized. I think a deed has to be notarized. I know it has to be witnessed, but you can screw them up so easily. You're just better off having an attorney draw it up. That's just my advice. And when you're selling, do you guys remember what words I told you have to have? What kind of deed you got to use if you're selling?
Special
warrant. Yeah.
Yeah. And it doesn't make a difference what type of document the seller transfers the property to the buyer in other words, special warranty deed, your mother's warranty deed, a grantee, a giant warranty deed, doesn't matter. A deed is a deed. It doesn't matter to the buyer how they take the property as long as they get title insurance. But you're going to invariably run into stupid realtors that want to insert themselves in the transaction by trying to show their buyer how smart they are. And they're going to object to you using a special warranty deed.
Wow.
So you have two choices. One, tell them to go pound sand, or call their broker and say, listen, you're not training your agents well enough to understand what the hell they're doing. A special warranty deed makes no difference to the buyer. The type of deed makes no difference to the buyer. Well, between warranty deed and special warranty deed. Because with a quitclaim deed, you're only granting what interest you have, if any. At least with a warranty deed, you're guaranteeing that you have interest in the property.
You know what?
Sorry, I went off on that. So you see now why they had to name her?
Gotcha. Yeah, the defective deed. Okay.
Yeah, because a foreclosure is the ultimate real property washing machine. You can fix everything in the context of this lawsuit, and this is one of the things they're fixing.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense, Rich. I appreciate the clarification on that.
Okay, what else you got in this one? Anything?
And then we have a note here about liens. I just want to see. It was something to do with interest on liens. But let me just pull it up. I'm trying to dig in the background as you.
Interest on a lien?
Yes. Let me see. Okay, so she has a water and sewer lien on this property. It's not much. It's for like $75, $74.93. And it says that it was from 6/19 of 23 to 1/17 of 24. And it just doesn't seem like this was ever paid or anything like that. We're trying to figure out if we need to worry about stuff like this.
No.
Because this would be cost incurred, at least based on what you just told us tonight.
Yeah, but the fact is, the numbers are so insignificant, it's not going to make a difference. Let's look in the complaint and see if the plaintiff's worried about it. Unknown spouse, certainly Solar Mosiak. So there's a lien from a UCC from a solar company. Yeah, they're going to get foreclosed out. It's too bad, so sad, Solar Mosiak. Let's go back and take a look at it.
I couldn't find the value of the solar panels either. That was the other thing. I saw the notice of commencement, but I couldn't find a value on the solar panels. But if it's going to go away, then I guess it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, it goes away. The only person that's going to be crying is them.
Jeez.
Let me see whether the mortgage. I don't think that they did a mortgage, did they? Okay, now this is the mortgage they're foreclosing. You can always find all the stuff you're looking for in the complaint, because if the plaintiff has to foreclose them out, they'll show you copies of it. That's what I'm looking for now, is the solar crybaby thing. No, that's the mortgage. There's the assignment of mortgage. That was heavily redacted. And I don't see the solar thing in here. Okay, so usually when it's not in here, in the body of the complaint, the document was recorded after the LP, but I don't think that happened. Because once you after the LP, nothing can get into the mix for the foreclosure action. And this is 2024, but they're named in the suit. Let's see what they get foreclosed out, or they get. Okay, affidavit of diligence search. Let's see what that is. That might be the company. No, they can't find Stacy Edwards. So she's not going to get served. Let's see who this one is. Diligent search. Stacey Edwards again. Oh, by the way, if you ever see Provest as the servicer, I mean, not the servicer, but the party that's providing service, these guys are an investigation company, but they do a service for a lot of plaintiffs. The reason they do is they have an agreement that they with these, because when we get, let's see if we can get to the affidavit of amount due with it. One thing at a time. Okay. Okay, non-service. Okay, here's an affidavit of non-service on Solar Mosaic. So they couldn't get them served. They couldn't get them served. They're going to be defaulted out. It's too bad, so sad. Who cares? They're going to go away. Let's see if we can find an affidavit of amount due. And wait until you see how much they charge for service. And then I'll tell you why they charge that much. Status, correspondence, motion for summary judgment is not going to be in that. Let's take a chance. Maybe it's in here. They charge a flat rate of almost $5,000. There it is. Look at that. See that number? 2809?
Mhm.
That's only Provest does that. And the reason they do that is because you promise me all your service for all your foreclosures, and I'll give you back half of my fee. That's what Provest does. Just more evidence of how crooked the system is.
I see. It's a kickback.
Yeah, it's a big one too. $1,500. I'll take it. Money's better off in my pocket than it is yours. So okay, so the whatchamacallit company, the solar company is going away. They're not going to be served. They're not going to answer. They might make a claim for surplus later. That's not going to affect you right now. Did you have any other questions about this one, John?
I don't think so, Rich. It was just the liens and the name, but yeah, it's clear from this. We just need to dig deeper into that complaint to try to answer some of these questions in advance.
Yeah, the complaint is a good place to start. But if it's a first mortgage, and you can confirm that just by, you'll learn that some plaintiffs don't do seconds. Some banks don't do seconds. Most of these foreclosures are going to be first mortgages. And the attorney wants to get clear title for their client more often than not. They don't want to sabotage them. It's just based on both of those things, there's really nothing to worry about. It's not as big a deal as the world makes it out to be.
Okay. Okay.
As long as you look at all the little things, that'll give you clues. Like, for example, if you go to the tax assessor's office, and I always like to look who's paying the taxes, because normally your mortgage payment includes PITI, principal, interest, taxes, and insurance. So most of the time, the bank that's foreclosing is going to pay the taxes, and you can see it. It'll say on there that taxes are paid by the bank. It's just one more way to check. So if you check the public records, the complaint, the property appraiser, and the tax assessor, you can't go wrong. You just got to know where to look.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, we all set?
Also,
All set. Thank you, Rich.
Did I send you the invitation for Monday's training at 7:00?
Yes, sir.
So, yes, sir.
You got those? Okay. I don't have the individual dates for you guys. What date you want to go next week?
John, you wanna go first?
I think we're just going to do the same thing.
was Wednesday or
uh,
Thursday?
What are you asking? I'm sorry. I'm talking to Jad over here. What's your question?
Was
Sunday the 15th, John?
Yeah, I think Sunday works. The 15th is good.
7:00?
Yeah, that's perfect, Rich.
All right. In that case, I can choose Thursday, on 12th.
Okay, what time on Thursday?
7 is fine.
7 o'clock? Okay, Mahedi.
Mhm.
Okay. I got them in the book. I'll make the Zooms tomorrow. Is there a particular topic you guys want for Monday? I was gonna go with title searches, but if you want to go with something else, you can.
Title search
That
is
sounds
good.
great. Yeah.
Okay, title searches.
Yeah.
Okay, and we covered a lot of it tonight, and I think we did with Mahedi last time too. So you guys will
Yes,
be
sir.
getting close. You'll be getting close to understanding it, and just as long as you know where to look, and we'll go over that on Monday.
Perfect.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay, I see you guys Monday at 7 o'clock.
Yes, sir.
Great.
Thanks.
Awesome.
Wait,
Thank you.
that's tomorrow.
Yes,
yes,
tomorrow.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, talk to you tomorrow. See ya.
Talk to you tomorrow. Yep.
Okay,
Bye.
bye-bye.